Hello, my learners. Afternoon to you all. It's yet another moment with Master Andrew. Today we are going to be considering another exciting topic on times and angle. Okay, like you all know, of this lesson we are going to learn how to calculate the angle between hour and minute hand. At the end, to identify acute and obtuse angle on the clock, and also apply step-by-step method and how to find this thing. Well, as usual, I'm sure you've gotten the answer. Just write it down, and the first thing in the morning you bring it to me in the class. All right, let's look at some facts about angle. Very important. Please, I want you to pay attention to what we are going to do here, because this will help you to know everything about the clock and then how to discover your angles from every bit of the movement, from the hour hand to the minute hand. Now, a full clock circled 360 degrees. How do you know a full clock, and how does it circle 360 degrees? Okay, let's take a look at this clock. For instance, here is a clock. This clock actually circles, angle circle is 360. So this actually circles 360 degrees, and that's one of the facts about angle. Now we move to the second fact. It says the clock has 12 numbers. Is it true? Okay, let's take a look at this. From 12, you will count. From 1, you will count down to 12. You agree with me that truly the 12 has 12 numbers. Starting from 1 here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. And now what do? You can actually divide the total circle here, which equals 360 degrees, by the number that is formed inside the clock, that is 12. So 360 divided by 12 gives you 30. What does that mean? It means that space between numbers equals 30 degrees. Okay, let's take a look at the space again. What are the numbers we have here? We have from 12 to 1 here. What it's saying is a space between number is 30 degrees. That means from 12 to 1 is 30 degrees. From 1 to 2 is also 30 degrees. From 2 to 1, from 2 to 3 is also 30 degrees. That's how it is being measured, and we call it a fact. Okay, now minute hand moves 6 degrees per minute. Let's take a look at this. The minute hand moves 6 degrees. How does it move 6 degrees? If you count all the minute hand from 1 to 12, we are going to have 60 minutes, because actually 60 seconds make 1 minute, 60 minutes make 1 hour. So to get a complete hour, we have 60 minutes. Now we are going to see how to divide 360 here. When you divide this 360 by 6, it will give you 6. And at this point, we know that each minute hands moves 6 degrees. What again do we have here? Yes, our hands moves 0.5 degrees per minute. 0.5 degrees per minute. As the time is moving, the hour hand is also moving, but the movement, the extra movement here is 0.5 per every minute. When we get to our calculation, you are going to understand it better. Let's take a look at the parts of the clock. Yes, every clock has hour hand, the short hand. I think I've shown you from this example. We have the short hand here, which is referred to as the hour hand. We have the longer side, which is referred to as the minute hand. All these things are referred to as parts of a clock. So the minute hand is the longer side. So the clock face, of course, every one of you know the clock face. You have seen the interface of the clock here, so it's not a new thing. You see clock every day. Now, when the minute hand moves from one number to another, 5 minutes pass. The clock properly. So when the minute hand points at 12, it is an exact hour. So what is an angle? An angle is formed when two lines meet. Angles are measured in degrees. These are just features of an angle. If you know how to get an angle, you know that two lines have to meet to form an angle. For instance, So we move further to types of angle. Now, acute angle is the angle that's less than 90. It's not really up to 90. It's less than 90. We have right angle exactly 90 degrees. And then we have an obtuse angle more than 90 but less than 180. And then angle on the straight line equals angle 180. A complete circle equals 360, like the round clock. So angle on a clock. Let's take a look at the angles on the clock and how they can easily be formed. Clock hands form angles. Example, you have 3 o'clock on the dot. That gives you what? 90 degrees. Okay, now let's go back to 6 o'clock. 6 o'clock is a straight lines, and it's a straight angle. So the angle formed when it is exactly 6 o'clock is 180 degrees. Now when it is 2, it's an acute angle. So let's quickly look at this calculator. It is worked example, and this is where I want you to practice so hard. Find the angle between, example, 3:45 p.m. Now you take a look at your clock and it's 3:45. How do we find the angle formed between 3:45? So the angle formed between 3:45 is the angle you are going to find using the formula. Please, this thing is taken step by step. Step 1, if you want to find the angle that is formed between 3:45, is that you must follow the formula. Hour hand angle equals 30. From one number to the other in the clock is 30 degrees. So that 30 multiplied by the hour. So the hour hand here is 3, whereby the minute hand is 45. Okay, so 30 multiplied by 3. We are looking at the first step now. Plus the extra movement. Every hour hand moves 0.5 every minute. So we are multiplying 0.5 by the minute. And now if you multiply 0.5 times 45, it will give you 22.5. When you add these two, look at the formula once again. 30 degrees times hours plus 0.5 times the minute. So our hour is 3, our minute is 45. So when you add these two, it will give you 112.5 degrees. This is step 1. We are just getting to know our hour hands. We have not finished. Let's go to the step 2. Step 2 now is talking about minute hand angle. Now at the minute, of course you know that each minute moves 6 degrees. So now the formula here said you are multiplying 6 degrees by the minute, and the minute that we have there is 45. So if the example is 3:45, the minute hand is 45. So 6 times 45 will actually give us 270. This is step 2. Finally, for you to get the angle formed by the clock between 3:45, we can now come to this point and said angle between hands will now give us hour hand minus minute hand. The hour hand gotten so far on the first one is what? 112.5. Alright, we now move to the minute hand. The minute hand gotten is 270. So the final stage for us to get our angle is that we must subtract the hour hand from the minute hand, and that will be this multiplied by 270, and we are having 157.5 degrees. So now tell me, this angle here is not up to 180 degrees, and I'm talking about the angle from here, 157 degrees. I said it is not up to 180 degrees, and it is more than 90 degrees. What do we call it? Call it obtuse angle. So an obtuse angle is actually formed between the hour hand of 3:45. All right, here is class activity. Please, if you have anyone around you, if you have your siblings around you, you have your daddy or mommy around you, you can play around with them on this. Use your arms to show a right angle. Hold your hand straight, point it looking at your clock to form a right angle. Then learn how to also form an acute angle with your arms and also obtuse angle. Now draw time 3 o'clock in your book. Draw it. I would like to see it in the class. Draw the angle between 125. Also draw the angle between 5:15. When I say draw, I mean make it look like this. At least you know what this time is talking about. This is 10 minutes past 10. We can call it 10:10 at this moment. So if you are asked to draw this, it means this is just 10:10. So you are going to draw a clock that will represent in your activity. You are going to draw a clock that will actually represent something like this, ranging from 3 o'clock, 1:25 and 5:15 in your notebook. All right, here's an exercise. You are going to solve this. Note it is compulsory. Now draw 610 and name the angle. What it means is that you are not just going to draw it, but after drawing it, you calculate it and tell me what the angle is. What angle is formed at 2:30? At least you go back to the example we've solved so far, and then you follow the procedure. Use the formula and follow the step. At least we have 3 steps. Step 1, you look for the hour hand. Step 2, look for the minute hand angles, and then step 3, just subtract the hour hand. So subtract the minute hand angle from the hour hand angle, and then you have your angle. It's the angle that determines the type of angle that is formed. So draw and label right angle, draw an obtuse angle, and what angle is formed at 9:50. All these are what I want to see. Okay, this is your summary. Clock help us read time. Clock hands form angles. Angles can be acute, right, obtuse, or straight, and we measure angles in degree. Thank you so much. If you have any question, please write it down, bring it to me in the class.